Hey everybody, AZ80s Girl back with you, and today we are going over just a minimal amount of things I have, so that's why we're going to be doing two in this episode. So, going over Teddy Ruxpin a little bit here, and then the Popples. Both are about around the 86 area, so 85, 86 for Teddy Ruxpin, 86 to 88 for the Popples, and to this day, for sure, well, might be for both of them. I did see 2017 at Teddy Ruxpin was going to be doing something, so I don't know. Popples, obviously, they just had a new release of a new Popples plush animals about a couple years ago, and so those are out as well. So we're going to start with Teddy Ruxpin real quick, and so I'm going to set my Popples, a few Popples that I have aside. Now, I didn't have a Teddy Ruxpin myself when I was younger, so I did find these around. So the Teddy Ruxpin I have, you got a Teddy Ruxpin in this big box. This is how he came sitting, this big box that you could see through. And he came with different cassettes, and he was an animatronic reading bearer. So he read the stories, there was books for them, and then there was also cassettes to follow along with the story. And then that was pretty much what it is. So there's a cassette. I do have one cassette in him that works in him, but he doesn't actually move his mouth at all or his eyes. So, and I'm not sure how to fix that part. So Worlds of Wonder made these. They, again, were best-selling in 85 and 86, and then they had an 87 cartoon. He did have a couple buddies. There was Grubby, which was that caterpillar-looking yellow caterpillar guy, and then Newton Gimmick, which I found this little dude, and this is actually Newton himself. He's a little PVC I found. So this is Newton, and then Grubby's the little caterpillar dude. So Teddy Ruxpin looks like this. He has his vest. It's like padded. He's really pretty heavy. And on the back, I'll show you real quick. It's Velcro. And this is where the batteries go in. And then the cassette goes in here, which I have one cassette. And I will play it, but again, like I said, it doesn't work. His voice doesn't work. So let's see. So it doesn't even sound. So they're just saying a song.
Finally, Leota passed out the graduation diplomas.
See, it's not really.
The first one went to someone who
so
had
something's not
overcome
connected
many
for him to work,
during
but
the school year.
probably just needs a little cleaning, and then you shut it off. So that is his cassette, and then you kind of just Velcro these back on the vest. And again, it's pretty heavy. It takes 4 C batteries, and he just sits there. The other ones I found was just a little stuffed Teddy Ruxpin doll that was, you know, this is 88. And this is just a stuffed one. It doesn't talk. It's just a regular plush. And I didn't know they made this one, but this is actually like a baby Ruxpin. I haven't been able to test him. I think he's missing the actual part of the battery compartment to make it work. I'm missing something. I don't know. So this is the baby Ruxpin that I found. So I didn't even know they had him. But this is baby Teddy, and that's it. So this is the Teddy Ruxpins. So if you were interested in Teddy Ruxpin, there, you know, definitely sell them a ton on eBay. So, you know, or if you find them, they're around. Okay, the next thing I'm going to go over the Popples. Now, I love the Popples. I definitely had Popples when I was younger. These are not my originals. They probably got covered in mold as usual from my basement. I remember having Popples sheets on my twin-size bed growing up as a kid. So I definitely had those. A little history with the Popples, and you can look this up yourself. The original, they came about 86 to 88. So 86, there was the original 9 that came out. So the original 9, and a part of the original 9, I only have like 2, was pretty, they all started with a P, you know, for Popples. Pretty Cool, Party, Pancake, Puzzle, Prize, Puffball, Pretty Bit, Potato Chip, Putter, and Putter. That's it. That's part. Sorry. That's 9. So, basically, the Popples were all in different sizes, like either bigger or medium or small. And then they had different colors, so you can really tell. This one is Prize. That's a girl. That's what I read. And they have different. She has different color ears. And then, so basically, with the Popple, if you see this, my son thinks it's pretty fascinating. They have the hearts on their feet, and their hands are different colors as well. The pads here. And you turn them around, they have the little tail, that's a puffball at the end. There's a pocket back here, and the pocket you're supposed to be able to tuck the body inside. You gotta work on it. And puff them in there. even if you want to tuck him inside. And then I remember on the cartoon series, there was a cartoon series in the 80s that they just bounced around while they were, so they jumped and tucked back in and they bounced around in there like a little ball. And they all have these little stamps on there that's stitched in there that says Popples. Okay, so this is a Popple here, and then this one's out. So this one actually is called Pretty Bit. Same thing, you just tuck them in, push the legs in, and keep pushing until they pop around. And then mainly they call them Popples because they pop out, which I had to explain that to my son. He's like trying to do it. And so basically just pop out. And so that's the Popples. So that is Prize, and then Pretty Bit will pop out. Oof, there. And she has a tail too, and again, small. There's a smaller one. And then after the original 9, they also did Rock Stars. So they did 2 Rock Stars. That was Punkster and Punkity. And then the babies came out at that point too. There's a Cribsy and Bibsy. And those look like babies with rattles, bibs, bonnets, and their tails actually rattled like babies. So after that, they made the Pufflings, and you could probably see those as well. They're like they're a little animal to the Popples, and it was just a flat puffball, pretty much. They're called Pufflings. And then they went into other, they did sports, and now you've probably seen those. So there are a lot of sports Popples out there where they're actually round basketballs. They pop into a basketball, and then they pop out, and they're wearing the attire. Or a soccer ball, and they're wearing, or baseball, and then they're wearing a baseball hat, or something related to that sport. And then the other ones they made, they were other ones that did like flowers, fruits, I read, different costumes, things like that. And then, so I'll show you my punk one I have. This is Punkity that I looked up, okay? Poofball here. She is missing her guitar. No, I'm sorry. The boy, Punkster, had a guitar. She actually had a microphone. So the microphone is missing. It was like probably ripped off. She's a punk. She's got earrings in here. She's got her lace, like Madonna rocking it here. And then the star. So she's a punk rocker. So Puff, put her back in there. Again, it takes some work. Get them in there. And again, they have the traditional stamp is still there. So that's, and then the Popples. They have the hard plastic eyes. They do have hard plastic eyes. And a little firmer nose, but just a little fuzzy nose, but plastic eyes. Hard plastic. And then pop her out. They can get matted over time, so you may see some that have like matted hair versus nice and fluffy. And then they had the pocket Popples, and again, they were supposed to be ones that fit in your pocket. So this is a rough one. Very tiny. Okay. This green one is called Putter. This is Putter. Green with the orange hair. It's a thin pocket, like a thin fabric that goes over them. Then you pop them out like that. He pops out. And there's this little pocket in the back with the tail. The difference with these is that they're not all plush. These are all plush stuffed animals. But these are actually hard plastic. So these are cloth and plastic. The hard face, hard arms, and hard feet. But they do turn and move. So you can have them sitting. These move up and down as well. But because of the hard plastic and the paint on them, that they can get paint loss over time. So he's like missing some paint off his face over time. So let's see what else. I guess the idea was when the inventor came up with this, like the whole idea was from rolling up your socks, and that's where it all spawned, to make an animal kind of like you could roll up into like a ball. So I think that's pretty much it with the Popples. I know that they currently, like I said, they had the cartoon series in '86 for a bit. A lot of things out there, coloring books and such like that, color forms, all of that, Shrinky Dinks, I'm sure. And then they released the stuffed animals a few years ago that looked a little different to me. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't think they sold very well. I could be wrong about that, but they looked a little like rats a bit to me. So I don't know. They looked a little like mice versus what these guys, I mean, they didn't really look like, they looked like their own thing, Popples. So gotta work on that, guys. So anyway, okay, so that's the Popples and Teddy Ruxpin segment. I hope you liked what you're seeing so far. So please subscribe and check out more of my 80s toys. Got more and more to go. Thanks.